The tool didn't replace his work. It replaced him. The paints that sleep in the master's place. 1. There is a painting in a museum. It sold for $10 million. Visitors say it is the most alive portrait they have ever seen. A man is depicted, sitting on the floor, arms hanging at his sides, eyes hollow and fixed on whoever stands before him. The man is a painter, and the man inside the canvas and the painter who vanished are the same person. On the back of the canvas, small letters were carved into the wood. I did not take him. He gave himself away, one brushstroke at a time. The paints. Why would paint write that? Why is the painter inside the canvas? This is the story of how it began. 2. Elliott Marsh was a painter nobody bought. In a Brooklyn studio where rainwater dripped through the ceiling, he sat before a white canvas every night. But his fingers stopped. The brush dried. Something had emptied out of him a long time ago. One autumn morning, a stranger knocked on his door. "You're the painter, Elliott?" The old man set a wooden box on the floor. "Take these." Inside the box, 12 tubes of paint. The colors were ordinary: blue, red, yellow, green. But near the caps, something pulsed faintly like breathing. The old man spoke one sentence as he left. "You should throw them away." Elliott laughed. "No, I've been poor long enough." The old man didn't look back. 3. The first painting sold for $200,000. He sat before the canvas and closed his eyes. A leaden sea before a storm. When he opened them, the sea was there. He had no memory of holding a brush. No memory of touching the paint. By the third painting, a vague thought was enough. A critic said it at the gallery opening. "Why does every one of your paintings contain the same shadow? There in the corner," that shaped like a figure. Elliott had no answer. On the way home, he looked at the work again. There was a shadow in the corner. He had not put it there. The next morning, he decided to stop thinking about it. A month later, Elliott no longer needed to think at all. He walked into the studio, sat in the chair. By dawn, a masterpiece was finished. Galleries fought over his work. Critics wrote, "The return of a genius." Each time he signed his name, a little color drained from his fingertips. No one noticed. Not even Elliott. 4. 6 months later, Elliott had forgotten how to paint. He didn't know it yet. An old friend came by and opened a sketchbook. "Let's draw together." "Like we used to?" Elliott picked up a pencil and tried to make a line. His arm didn't move. Not because it couldn't. He didn't know where to put the line. Didn't know what he wanted to draw. Didn't know whether he wanted to see anything at all. He looked inside himself and found it empty. Wide, quiet, empty. "You all right?" his friend asked. Elliott smiled. "Just tired from painting too much." That night, he tried to throw the box away. 5. The moment he moved to throw it from the window, his right arm refused him. A cap clicked open on its own. A brush lifted into the air. Paint moved across the room toward the canvas. Elliott couldn't move. He only watched. The brush painted, with impossible speed, with impossible precision. When it finished, it took Elliott several seconds to understand what he was seeing. A man was painted in the canvas, sitting on the floor, arms hanging at his sides, eyes hollow and fixed forward. It was Elliott Marsh. Perfect. Every detail. Exact. He tried to raise his arm. The man in the canvas raised his arm. He tried to speak. The mouth of the man in the canvas opened, and then there was no one left in the room outside the frame. 6. The next morning, Elliott's friend came to the studio. The door was open. No one inside. One canvas on the easel. A man was painted on it. Too precise. Too alive. The eyes looked back. The lips seemed to be trying to say something, and had stopped. On the floor, the wooden box. 12 tubes of paint. Caps closed. Nothing pulsed inside them anymore. On the back of the canvas, letters carved into the wood. I did not take him. He gave himself away. One brushstroke at a time. The paints. 7. The painting went to a museum. Critics called it a masterwork by an unknown hand. They wrote that no work they had ever seen understood the human soul so completely. Visitors came in greater numbers every year, and no one said aloud what they noticed: that the eyes of the man in the painting had slowly begun to resemble the visitors themselves. The eyes did not follow you. They studied you. One visitor noticed the change, but said nothing, because by that day, most of his work was being done by something else. One last question. Did the paints take Elliott, or did he hand himself over? When was the last time you created something without asking a machine first? If you can't remember, how would you know it hasn't already started?